Marissa was out jogging her usual track when an unexpected encounter changed everything. A wild black bear appeared on the side of the trail, watching her intently. Instead of feeling fear, Marissa sensed an unusual calmness from the bear, which seemed to beckon her to follow as it moved away from the path, pausing occasionally to check if she followed. Despite the warnings from bystanders shouting at her to run, Marissa was drawn to the bear, feeling an inexplicable connection and a strong urge to assist it. Though she knew the risks, having heard countless tales of bear encounters, her instincts told her differently this time. "I don't believe you're dangerous," she murmured softly as they ventured deeper into the forest, Marissa carefully navigating the terrain to keep pace with the bear. She decided to inform Derek, her boyfriend, of her location in case of emergency, sending a quick text and ensuring her phone stayed silent to avoid startling the bear. As they progressed, Marissa noticed the sun dipping lower in the sky, casting long shadows through the trees. The bear's pace slowed, and it began sniffing around a particular area, prompting Marissa's curiosity. "What are you searching for?" she asked tentatively. Suddenly, the bear growled, startling Marissa. Doubts crept in, but her intrigue kept her rooted. Following the bear's gaze, she cautiously approached a thick tree where it had paused. Peering around, she gasped in surprise. The bear had led her to an abandoned campsite. A tent stood nearby, its flap open as if hastily vacated. Warm ashes in the fire pit hinted at recent occupancy, yet the site now lay eerily quiet and deserted. Who is here, and why did they leave in such a hurry? Marissa wondered aloud, her curiosity intensifying despite a growing sense of unease. Her eyes scanned the scattered belongings, a locket with a family photo, a camera with a partially filled memory card, and a diary bearing an embossed bear on its cover. She gingerly picked up the diary, brushing away forest debris to reveal neat handwriting within. The entry spoke of a traveler's fascination with the wilderness, particularly the black bears that roamed these woods. He expressed a keen interest in documenting a rare white fur bear cub rumored to inhabit the region, envisioning it as the star of a groundbreaking documentary. Marissa's heart raced with intrigue and concern. The mystery of the abandoned campsite and the traveler's intentions unfolded before her, urging her to delve deeper into this unexpected discovery. Despite her initial apprehension, she felt compelled to uncover the truth behind this enigmatic encounter, guided by the unexpected ally who had led her here, a wild black bear whose motives remained as mysterious as the forest itself. Marissa's heart raced as she absorbed the chilling contents of the traveler's diary. The words painted a disturbing picture of obsession and cruelty aimed at capturing the rare white fur bear cub. Her hands trembled as she read aloud, each syllable sending shivers down her spine. "This cub is mine by death's destiny. If it won't come to me willingly, I have measures to ensure it does." Sketches of cages and detailed plans for traps littered the pages, transforming the once innocent journal into a sinister blueprint. Marissa felt a surge of urgency and dread. The decision weighed heavily on her shoulders. Should she race to the nearest ranger station, or trust the bear's guidance and follow the clues herself? Outside, the bear waited patiently, its presence a silent reassurance amid the unfolding crisis. Marissa couldn't shake the feeling that the bear had chosen her as an ally, perhaps sensing her compassion and resolve. It was as if the mother bear had entrusted Marissa with a mission to protect her cub from the traveler's nefarious plans. With determination fueling her steps, Marissa set off towards the direction of faint, distressed cries echoing through the forest. Each sound pierced her heart, intensifying her resolve to uncover the truth and thwart the imminent danger. Suddenly, Marissa stumbled upon a freshly set trap, its metal jaws ominously gleaming in the fading light. Her worst fears seemed confirmed, but she refused to succumb to despair. Nearby, a discarded camera lay, its lens capturing scenes of the forest but revealing no trace of the bear. Refocusing on the distant cries, Marissa and the bear pressed deeper into the wilderness, eventually arriving at a clearing scattered with cages. Among them, a smaller cage lay overturned, its door ajar with tufts of bear fur snagged on its jagged edges. A tranquilizer dart lay discarded nearby, painting a grim picture of recent events. Instinctively, Marissa turned back towards the campsite, racing against time to retrieve the wire cutters she had seen earlier. Every second counted now as she fumbled through the scattered belongings in the tent. Relief flooded her when her fingers closed around the cold metal of the wire cutters, her mind racing with strategies to free any trapped animals, especially the elusive bear cub. Yet, as she emerged from the tent, a rustling in the underbrush caught her attention. Eyes wide with alarm, Marissa scanned the edge of the clearing, sensing she was no longer alone. From the shadows, a pair of eyes gleamed back at her, confirming her fears that someone else was watching, waiting. Crouching low behind the tent, Marissa listened intently as muffled voices drifted through the forest, mingling with the rustling leaves and distant calls of wildlife. 2, maybe 3 figures emerged into view, their hushed tones revealing their intent. "I told you she'd come back here," one voice hissed, sending a chill down Marissa's spine. She held her breath, heart pounding as the figures drew closer, their forms silhouetted against the fading light. Peering cautiously from her hiding spot, Marissa recognized the grizzled face of the traveler from the diary, his expression etched with determination and frustration. Behind him, his companions brandished nets and equipment, poised for action. Fear gripped Marissa's heart as she realized the perilous situation she now faced. She knew she had to act swiftly and decisively to protect not only herself, but also the vulnerable creatures threatened by these determined hunters. He sneered, eyes locked onto Marissa with a predatory intensity that sent a shiver down her spine. Gripping the knife tightly, she squared her shoulders, meeting his gaze head-on. The tension between them crackled in the air, each moment stretched taut with uncertainty. In a bold move, Marissa suddenly darted to the side, catching the traveler off guard. He lunged towards her, but before he could close in, the adult bear unleashed a thunderous roar. The sound echoed through the forest, momentarily freezing everyone in place. It was enough of a distraction for Marissa to sprint into the dense underbrush, knife clenched tightly in her hand. Her heart raced as she wove through the trees, hoping to lose her pursuers in the labyrinth of foliage. The chase was on, each heartbeat drumming in her ears as she pushed deeper into the wilderness. Her frenzied flight led her to a small clearing where a heart-wrenching sight awaited her. The bear cub, ensnared in a net, whimpering softly with exhaustion evident in its feeble struggles. The realization hit Marissa like a punch to the gut. The bear's frantic behavior, its persistent efforts to guide her, it all made sense now. They weren't just wild animals. They were a family, fighting desperately for survival. Taking a deep breath to steady herself, Marissa approached the trapped cub with cautious steps. The adult bear watched her every move, a mixture of fear and hope in its watchful eyes. Speaking soothingly, Marissa carefully assessed the net, searching for its weakest points. With meticulous precision, she worked to free the cub, her fingers moving swiftly despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Finally, with a determined tug, the cub was released. It wasted no time scampering to its mother, seeking comfort in her protective embrace. But there was no time for a prolonged reunion. The distant voices grew louder, the rustling of foliage signaling the approach of danger. The traveler and his companions were closing in, their intentions clear and malevolent. Sensing the impending threat, the adult bear positioned herself defiantly between Marissa and the oncoming danger, her growls resonating with fierce protectiveness. It was a primal display of maternal instinct, a barrier of fur and muscle shielding Marissa and her cub from harm. Standing at a safe distance, Marissa felt a swell of overwhelming relief and gratitude. Her eyes met those of the mother bear, and in their depths, she saw a profound warmth that transcended species. With a gentle nudge, the bear pressed her massive head against Marissa's, a silent gesture of gratitude that touched her deeply. Following the bear's lead, Marissa found herself retracing a path she hadn't noticed before. The trees began to thin, the sounds of civilization gradually replacing the symphony of the forest. Stepping into the sunlight, she felt its warmth on her skin, the air crisp and invigorating. As she made her way back to her everyday life, Marissa couldn't shake the profound emotions swirling within her. The harrowing adventure had tested her courage, but it had also been a journey of self-discovery. She had forged an unexpected bond with nature, with the untamed wild, and it had changed her in ways she couldn't yet fully grasp. The encounter with the bears had unlocked something deep within her, a newfound appreciation for the delicate balance of life and the fierce resilience of the natural world.